Hello everybody and welcome back to Perfect Acceleration Sim Racing and welcome back to the PASR MX-5 Cup. We are here at Castle Combe for round number 4 of the championship. If you've joined us previously, you will have seen a brilliant few rounds at Donington Park, Knockhill and Croft last week. Croft slightly more argy-bargy than what we're used to seeing, but it did produce some very, very good racing. Myself, Jack Werrell, guiding you through all of the action this evening. Tom O'Farrell from 2F Media Productions, bringing us all of the fabulous images you can see on screen at the moment. And of course, the series organiser and the man behind it all at Perfect Acceleration Sim Racing, Mick Sutton. As we mentioned, we've already been to Donington Park, Knockhill, Croft, and we are here at Castle Combe. At the end of this evening, there's only 2 more rounds to go. Alton Park, the island layout, we've seen it already before on the various PASR series. We do make a return for the MX-5 Cup, and then we round it all out on the 14th of March, round number 6 on the GP circuit at Brands Hatch. So one of the slightly longer circuits, so to speak. A lot of time flat out at Brands Hatch to round out the season. And what will they all be fighting for? We've seen some close racing at the start of the season. We'll see it tonight, and we'll see it all the way until the very end. And this is why, if you get yourself on the podium, you get £5 cash, no matter where you place on the podium, first, second, or third. And when it comes to the end of the championship, and the results are no longer provisional and they are set in stone, if you win the championship, you get yourself £60 in cash. If you finish second, you get yourselves £40 in cash, and finishing third, £20 cash. So there are some nice prizes, not only throughout the championship itself, but at the end of the season as well. You can get your hands on a little bit more cash, which for some of the drivers can be very, very helpful indeed, maybe going towards some real-life racing endeavours as well. In terms of how close people are to getting their hands on those prizes, Kyle Felvis is at the head of affairs only by 9 points with a 54-point drop score at the moment, ahead of Luke Sintler, who since coming out of Donington Park has been on the podium pretty consistently. He finished second at Knockhill, and then a second at Croft last time out. So Kyle Felvis, those wins that he's grabbed have given him that all-important margin at the top of the times. Jordan Taylor currently sat there in third place, only 5 points back, but tied third with Nathan Williams at the moment. Both of those two on 110 points. Harley Connolly only a stone's throw away, 3 points back from those two in fifth. Then Leo Bell only a point back. James Pepper 3 from there. Stanley Donaldson, who I don't think we're seeing this evening, he was only 1 point back on 102 points in 8th place, but like I say, I don't think we'll be seeing anything of Stanley this evening. In terms of how the drivers are getting on, you can quite clearly see they are painting the picture for the rest of the season. At the halfway point, this is how close the championship standings are. Of course, they may still fluctuate because drop scores may sort of increase or decrease, however it may be. Kyle Felvis, he can get away with having quite a poor round and score very minimal points indeed, and that way at the end of the season, the drop score will be as low as possible. Of course, we can already see Nathan Williams, he's dropping 0. Any points he scores will be going on the board. Same with Leo Bell, same with Stanley Donaldson, and everybody pretty much else thereafter from 12th downwards. So the championship is closer than ever. What about qualifying? There's 10.5 minutes remaining of the qualifying session. At the moment, newcomer to Perfect Acceleration Sim Racing on debut is on provisional pole position. Adam Lyle with a 1 minute 11.896. He's going very well in the early phase of qualifying. Kyle Felvis slightly slower through sector 1, but slightly quicker through sector 2. If he can match his time, it'll be perfect. If he can improve, he might be on for pole, running the car to the very outside of the circuit, crosses the line, does improve, and he manages a 1 minute 11.931 and closes the margin by 1,000th of a second. Whilst he did that, James Pepper also improved. He's now only 75 thousandths away from pole position with a 1 minute 11.971. So those top three separated by only 3/4 of a tenth of a second. Luke Sintler, he's still 3.5 tenths back, sat there in 4th place provisionally, of course. Jordan Taylor not too far away in provisional P5. The top 6 separated by less than half a second. So it's so close already. Of course, track limits do need to be watched rather closely this evening. It's quite easy just to dip a couple of wheels onto the grass and then it'll draw the car over that white line, and from there it's really only a one-way to initially warnings, but where they are necessary we may start to see penalties being dished out. Adam Lyle riding on board. He arrives at the very fast final corner at Camp Corner, flicks the car in on towards the start-finish straight once again. Does he improve his lap time that time through? No, he doesn't. But 1 minute 11.896 is a good marker for him to try and beat for the rest of the session. He's got 8.5 minutes just over still to do it, but of course he will want to improve, seeing how close Kyle Felvers, Jordan Pepper now is. Jordan Pepper on to provisional pole position with a 1 minute 11.821. And that 3/4 of a second margin he was behind. He is now in front. Adam Lyle has got 75 thousandths of a second to try and find to match Jordan Pepper, or James Pepper, pardon me. Kyle Felvers, he has been knocked down to provisional P3. A bit of a moment there for Adam Lyle. So that's this lap done and out of the window. He will have to try and improve on the next one. Looking at Nathan Williams, he's up very substantially in Sector 1, riding over all of the grass, struggling to keep the car in check, using all of the curb on the quick right. And then we head through Hammer down in towards Tower Corner before we arrive at Bobby's. The quick sort of right-left chicane, the second of the two here at Castle Combe. Into the right, avoid the tyre bale. Into the left, avoid the tyre bale once again. Runs wide over the track limits, and this lap will be invalidated for Nathan Williams. So whilst he is improving on paper, as far as the timings are concerned, I can't see this being an improvement at all. Who else is just in front of them coming towards the line? One of those is Kyle Felbus, I think. The other one is Nathan Williams. Over the line goes Luke Sintler. He set an overall fastest Sector 3, but it wasn't enough to dethrone anybody else above him. Jordan Taylor, he's up in Sector 1. He will very shortly be arriving at Bobby's, so it's a dab on the brakes. Down a gear, he's already gone through Bobby's, pardon me. He's heading towards the final corner now. He's lost a lot of time in Sector 2. I don't know whether he's lifted off and he's now going for a push lap. Towards the line he will go. He's still just over half a second away from provisional pole position. He's got, what, 1.5 tenths to find if he wants to get his way in towards the top 5. Further down, we've got Sam Chilton, potentially with improvements to find. However, if he only finds 4 thousandths of a second, he will take P14 away from Olivia Kronoska. And if he finds a 10th second, he will also through and past Nathan Snaith. 2 tenths past Harry Dios. It shows just how close it is from really top to bottom of the order. Looking at Sam Chilton now, he's found the half a second he needs already in Sector 1. What can he do about applying that in Sector 2? If he continues to improve at the rate he is, we may see him in towards the top 10. Now it's hard on the brakes, in towards Tower. Is quite a late apex, it draws you in early, so you've got to be careful not to turn in too early and then wash the car wide. In towards Bobby's, avoid the tyre bales on both sides, narrowly avoiding the wing mirror on those tyre bales, just about keeping it within track limits, maybe. I'm not sure how close that was, but he's now at, what, 1.5 seconds on his overall best. This could be a very, very quick lap time from Sam Chilton. In towards the final corner, pitches the car in, tries to make sure that momentum is carried and the minimum speed is as high as possible. Over the line, we see him up to provisional P12 with a 1 minute 13.563, so still plenty of time to find for Sam Chilton. But he is running out of time to find it with only now 5.5 minutes remaining of the session. James Pepper, having set that 1:11.821, is fairly happy with that and has returned to the pit lane. Alex Lyle, pardon me. No, it is Adam Lyle. I got it right the first time. He has pulled over, I think, on the side of the circuit. So I don't think we will see any further parts in qualifying for Adam Lyle. Maybe running out of fuel and has pulled over safely and out of the way of sort of the live racing surface, but that may now leave him vulnerable to Kyle Felbus. Over the line went Luke Sintler. No improvement from him, however, a good lap time and one to keep aiming for. So we'll see what improvements we can get later on in the session. Leo Bell has gone personally fastest in Sector 1, so too was Jordan Taylor. Ash Hill had done, but has now returned to the pit lane. So Leo Bell, if we keep an eye on him, we may slowly start to see him edge his way up the order. There he is. He's lost a lot of time in Sector 2, unfortunately, though. That's not quite what I was expecting. Bearing in mind he found almost 3 tenths through Sector 1. So there's plenty of time still to find, I fear. Over the line goes Leo Bell, and doesn't improve that time. Kieran Roberts over the line last time did set a personal fastest lap with a 1 minute 12.948. This time doesn't. He can't quite follow that one up. Holly Connolly, last time he crossed the line, he bettered his personal fastest at 1 minute 13.050. He's only got a little bit to find if he wants to try and work his way through and past Ash Hill, who's just up the road. Leo Bell once again up in Sector 1, so he's really finding the time through Sector 1. Sector 2, it just seems to bleed away. Whether it was some sort of small mistake on the lap prior, I don't know. He's just got to keep that car within the white lines, and we may start to see some slightly faster times being set towards the end of this session. Just have a quick look. We've got somebody else pulled over there as well. That looked like Potter, potentially. I think Thomas Potter has pulled away. Yes, he has. He's got back going again. I don't know whether he got it all crossed up on the exit of Tower, and the moment carried on all the way up to Bobby's, but he was almost up against the tyre wall there. Over the line in a few moments' time comes Leo Bell. Will we see an improvement from Leo over the line with a 1 minute 12.826? It is a personal improvement, and he's up to provisional P7. He's got around about half a second to find, really, if he wants to get into that top 6 and get Jordan Taylor off that third row. Of course, Adam Lyle can't respond to any improvements. Maybe Kyle Felvis will improve towards the latter stages of the session, but with what just ticked past 3 minutes remaining, the timing screen is a flood with sort of oranges, so no improvements at all for some. Harry Dios last time through, he set a personal fastest sector 2, and that's probably why they're not improving. It's a very, very congested part of the circuit through Tower Bend. The first of those cars is Jordan Taylor. Then it's Nathan Williams. Who's that just behind? We'll try and pick out exactly who that is. Let's have a quick look through the order. We know we've got Kyle Felvis in there. We have got Harley Connolly at the very end. So yeah, 4 cars, absolutely nose to tail. It might work for some, but massively work against others because aerodynamic assistance could play a part. But of course, that's when we bring in different driving styles. Some drivers might brake slightly later and deal with what that may cause on the way into a corner. Some drivers may be slightly earlier and just try and focus on being a bit more precise on the way in and then clean it up on the way out. Of course, that can catch a few drivers off guard in towards what is, in theory, I think turn 3, because you've got Folly at turn 1, and then, or Foley, pardon me, and then into Avon Rise before you finally arrive at Quarry. Quarry is the first sort of substantial corner at Castle Combe. We've just worked our way through the S's, then through Old Paddock Bend, and Nathan Williams spinning through 180 degrees. He gets the car pointed the right way again, but that won't be what he's looking for in this session. Kyle Felvis sets a personal fastest sector 1. He's up the amount of time he would need to get onto the front row of the grid and onto provisional pole position, but however, jumping on the brakes, pulling over to the right hand side, deciding maybe the next lap is the time to go for it. So back through goes Jordan Taylor, back through goes Harley Connolly, and they're going to have to sort this out quickly because they're only going to have time for 1 more lap. So Kyle Felvis may have spotted that and has just put himself in the perfect position. He's not too close to get caught out by a slightly earlier braking car, but he's not far enough away to be without any sort of aerodynamic assistance. Harley Connolly comes towards the line and there's no improvements from anybody that time through, apart from maybe, was that Luke Sintler up a place, up into provisional P4, or was that just a personal fastest lap? A 1 minute 11.989 posted by him, so he's only 58 thousandths away from Kyle Felvis, who's only 35 thousandths away from Adam Lyle, who's only 75 thousandths away from James Pepper. I think we saw Jordan Taylor spinning through 180 degrees there in towards Quarry. Yes, we did. You can see him recovering in the background. So Harley Connolly is now at the head of the train and is, what, 3.5 tenths up, but gets it all kinds of wrong all over the grass and piles the car into the barrier, maybe out of frustration. Kyle Felvis is down in sector 1 by almost 4 tenths per second, and that's not what he needs by way of an improvement. I think we may have lost Harley Connolly at some point in the circuit. Yeah, so he's still there. He's not managed to get back going again. Whether that car has damage or he's just decided to bring an end to his session. Of course, Jordan Taylor massively down after the mistake into turn 1. Luke Sintler, he did manage to squeeze another lap out. The final car to set a time should be Nathan Snaith, all being well. He's just emerging out of Quarry Corner in the background. Here comes Kyle Felvis. Will we see an improvement from him? Will we see him on the front row? Over the line we go. When we do see Kyle Felvis provisionally on the front row of the grid with a 1 minute 11.890. That's good enough for provisional P2. Of course, we won't see a response from Adam Lyle. Luke Sintler, I don't think we will see a response from either. Harry Dios has given up with his qualifying aspirations and has pulled over towards the right-hand side. Harley Connolly still not improved. Cars continuing to take the checkered flag. Nathan Williams in the pit lane. Thomas Potter, he won't take the checkered flag, or at least he will in the pit lane. Olivia Kronowska, potentially with a really late improvement. We might see her edge her way closer towards that top 10. Over the line, currently P15. Does improve with a 1 minute 13.885. But remains provisional P5, and that puts her only 5 thousandths away from Nathan Snaith. Luke Sintler over the line. He doesn't improve, but the 1:11.989 he posted earlier in the session is still good enough to hold him in P4. Are we going to see further laps? Harley Connolly has got back going again. So too, I think, has Sam Chilton. Yes, he has. There is Kieran Roberts. He's, I think, pulling over now to bring an end to his qualifying session, and the pit lane becomes a busier place. But James Pepper, after what has been a fairly hit and miss season for him so far, in terms of results, of course, he finished third at the second race at Donington Park. He finished third in the first race at Knock Hill last week at Croft. It didn't quite go his way, but James Pepper, what a way to kick off this evening's action. Castle Combe, is that a circuit that really gels with you, or was that just look at the draw and getting that good lap in?
I mean, it was a very big push lap, but to be fair, I've never driven the track, so to be on the front row in pole, it's a massive thing as well with the P7 in the championship. So I've got to work on that still and just push forwards.
And like you say, P7 in the championship, we're past the halfway point now, so you're somewhat on the back foot for the final, 3 rounds. But of course, that still means that there are 6 races to go, so plenty of points to be scored. Are you hoping to carry the momentum already set this evening, not only through this evening, but potentially into the rest of the season?
Yeah, just as you say, push forwards and try hold the pace. I've had decent race pace for the past few races, but it's just unfortunately not gone my way, and just got to capitalise on what I can tonight.
Yeah, and of course you've still got the reverse grid race to go, so if race 1 doesn't quite go your way, hopefully it does, you have got race 2 to bounce back on. But great to have a chat to you, James, and fingers crossed we can speak to you again later on this evening.
Yeah, hopefully.
So great to have a quick word there with our pole sitter for race 1 this evening, James Pepper. And if you would like to get yourself in the commentary box, maybe for pole position or maybe for a podium, we have more opportunities available for you. So Perfect Acceleration Sim Racing, we are always trying to sort of expand our roster of series that we can run, series that we have run, series that we want to run. The latest one that we will be adding is the PASR Clio World Series. So it is a 6-round championship. The entry fee is £60 or £10 per round. You can pick and choose which ones you'd like to do. Hopefully, we can see you out for all of them. Total prize fund is £300, but of course, we are carrying over the cash prize per race podium. Result of £5 if you place on the podium. And much like this series, we have a 2-race drop score, so you don't drop the entire round. If you have a brilliant race 1 and a slightly poorer race 2, you can just drop that second or first race, whichever way around it is. Semi-fixed setup, so there's not too much you can do, but in terms of maybe pressures and the amount of fuel you can put in the car, bits like that, you will be able to change just to get it to your liking, but not give you a substantial advantage. Of course, you get brilliant custom liveries as well, just so you can pick your car out and really make it your own. Of course, you get those bonus points for pole and fastest lap, meaning the championship will probably remain as close as ever. There is a protest and penalty system. Hopefully, we don't have to use any of those, but they are in place should you need them. In terms of the championship, this is how it looks. We kick off the Clio World Series, much like we did with the MX-5 Cup at Donington Park, this time on the GP layouts. Then we go to a double header in Italy. We've got Imola and Misano, the 18th of April and the 9th of May, back to the UK for round number 4 on Alton Park, the international layout, so no longer the island layout. We're using a full international layout at Alton Park. Then we go over the pond, right the way over to California, Laguna Seca on the 23rd of May, back into Europe, back to Belgium on the 30th of May, before we round out the season at Zolder. And again, similar formats to this evening. We have a 15-minute qualifying followed by 2 20-minute races. However, instead of the full reverse grid, going off the finishing results from race 1, the top 10 that finished in race 1 will be reversed, hopefully to keep that racing as close as possible. So if you are looking at doing that, please do get in touch. Head over to the Perfect Acceleration Sim Racing website, or if you're already in the Discord, drop a message. There's more information that will be flooding in there over the coming weeks, and maybe even get some practice in the Clio Cup as well. So all of that is to come. Before then, we've got a full evening of racing still to go. 2 20-minute races on the way for the PASR MX-5 Cup. And of course, we've got the grid already set for race number 1. Race 2, that will be what that will be. We've got to get through race 1 before we can set that grid for race 2. So let's have a quick look into how they will be lining up. You can see James Pepper, he's sat there, he's on the inside, so it should give him the best opportunity to arrive at turn 1 first. It's the inside, of course, for Foley, the outside for Avon Rise, but that's where you're almost onto the brakes, and it can unsettle the car on the way into quarry. So if you can keep it squared away and on the inside, it should almost pay dividends on the first lap. Kyle Felvis will be lining up alongside him, followed then by newcomer to PASR, Adam Lyle. What a way to make your mark on the championship. Then we have Luke Sintler alongside Nathan Williams and Jordan Taylor make up row 3, followed then by Leo Bell and Kieran Roberts. Ash Hill, another newcomer to the championship, qualifying inside the top 10. Brilliant work from Ash Hill, lining up in 9th. Harley Connolly for company on row number 5. Row 6 made up of Sam Chilton and Thomas Potter. Then we go back to Harry Dios, Nathan Snaith, Olivia Kronoska in 15th place, and the red lights will very shortly be going on, and race number 1 here at Castle Combe will be getting underway. So you can see the red lights illuminating, 5, 6 lights. Race 1 here at Castle Combe is go. It's a good start from James Pepper. A slightly delayed reaction there from Kyle Felvis, but he gets the second phase just about right and has already started to pull in front of James Pepper. So in towards the first little right kink. James Pepper already demoted down into 3rd place. A brilliant start made by Kyle Felvis. Luke Sintler matched him and will now be on the outside by the time we arrive at Quarry Corner. So it's going to become a very, very busy place. There's a little bit of side-by-side contact in towards turn 1. James Pepper has spun through 90 degrees but gets the moment collected up. Somebody else is spinning through the background. That's Jordan Taylor at Quarry Corner. Luke Sintler got caught out. Harley Connolly got caught out. Harry Dios got caught out, I think, all in that. But I think they were trying to go 4 wide into turn 1. It really wasn't going to work. Harry Dias in the background still recovering with Luke Sintler back there as well. So they've all got it wrong, unfortunately, at turn 1. There is the recovering James Pepper. A bit of damage, but holds on to 5th place. He will now be trying to catch up to Leo Bell, riding on board with Ash Hill. He's looking to the inside of Kieran Roberts by the time we arrive at Tower. On the brakes up the inside, and position made, maybe. There's a bit of door-to-door contact. They touch, they rub, but Ash Hill just about manages to get his way through, and then by the time we arrive at Bobby's, I thought the overlap would be gone, but they're still just about side by side, no more. Ash Hill up into 6th place. He had to work for it. However, Olivia Kronoska has been caught up in an accident. That was maybe with Harley Connolly doing the clever thing and getting the car off the racing line. Unfortunately, that demotes her right the way down to 14th place. Back up to James Pepper. We said he's catching Leo Bell, and he's catching, and trying to work his way through now. Looks to the inside, looks to the outside, decides the outside is the way he's going to go. So we will arrive at Avon Rise first. Over the crest we go. On the brakes, get the car straightened up before you turn in for Quarry, and all the way around the outside for James Pepper. Brilliant move up into 4th place, and only 8 tenths away from now Adam Lyle in 3rd. So a bit of work to do, but if he can keep the car on the road, we already know the pace he can show. Jordan Taylor getting his elbows out, and Luke Sintler getting caught up in that one, I think, flashing the lights, maybe with a slight bit of disapproval. Through the S's we go, looking at Sam Chilton. I think he's just been picked off by Harley Connolly, but he's still in an okay position, sat there in 10th. If he can stick with Harley Connolly, he might find himself drawn up to the pack up the road. Continuing to flash there is Jordan Taylor. He's definitely let us know he knows where the flash button is on his steering wheel. He's no stranger to it throughout this season. Back up, slightly further up the road, we've got Kieran Roberts, having lost out to Ash Hill on the lap prior. He's already trying to sort of reassert himself into 6th place and edge the door open in towards the final corner. It was a sort of half look, but it's a bit too quick of a corner for him to really get that overlap and commit to the move. Now he can make the most of the aerodynamic assistance down in towards turn 3. James Pepper last time through with a brilliant lap, a 1 minute 11.845, the fastest anyone has gone so far in this race. So he's going very, very well already in the early stages of this race, of course, potentially spurred on by the slight calamities of a poor start and a bit more at turn number 3. But Kieran Roberts on the coattails of Ash Hill, desperate to work his way through and past. He's already alongside, on the brakes into the S's, and back up into 6th place goes Kieran Roberts. Ash Hill, deciding discretion is the better part of valour, jumped on the brakes sort of mid-corner just to ensure there wasn't any contact. So clever driving from Ash Hill, very respectful indeed. He's already picked up a couple of places, of course, starting 9th, up into 7th, further up the road. There is Adam Lyle, under pressure now from James Pepper, but also trying to work his way through and past Nathan Williams. So there's 3 cars, absolutely nose to tail. If they do battle, we will see Kyle Felvis disappear up the road. He's already built that lead margin up to 1.8 seconds, running very wide on the exit of turn 1. That will get him a track limits warning. Over the line we go, on to lap number 4, 3 laps completed. But Nathan Williams, is he going to go defensive? Yes, he does. Adam Lyle jumps over to the left-hand side. He's going to have to be so late on the brakes. We've seen it work before. James Pepper went round the outside. Adam Lyle can't quite find the grip this time. Looks for the cutback. Gets on the throttle slightly earlier. We know if you can get the overlap in towards the S's, you can get that move done. So Adam Lyle on the inside. Nathan Williams on the outside. Absolutely side by side. Nathan Williams really hooked him in towards that tyre bale there. That caught James Pepper out. Of course, Adam had to respond by jumping on the brakes in avoidance. And James Pepper maybe didn't quite see that coming his way. Jumped on the brakes and lost a lot of time, but we've seen him make a lot more time up already in this race, so expect him to be right back on these two, potentially before the end of the lap, I was going to say. A slight network issue there for James Pepper. I thought he was going rather quickly through Tower, but immediately back on the attack and back within touching distance of not only Adam Lyle, but also Nathan Williams. If they continue to battle, Leo Bell will be in on this. Adam Lyle, I said it wasn't an overtaking opportunity. He tries to prove me wrong. Side-to-side contact, and Adam Lyle, fortunately, gets just knocked sideways. That loses him all of the momentum he had. James Pepper makes the most of that, but of course Nathan Williams' momentum was slightly diminished because of the contact, and James immediately jumps at it, jumps at the opportunity, and up into second place. Nathan Williams now down into third. He's already trying to attack back and make that position stick for him up into second place, but washes slightly wide and drops back down into third place and almost has to stay there for the moment, because James Pepper is already trying to work his way away. The network issue still not subsiding for James Pepper. Leo Bell sat there in fourth, of course, working his way through and past the recovering Adam Lyle. Kieran Roberts still sat there in sixth place, and Ash Hill down in seventh. The gaps have opened up slightly. Jordan Taylor is on the tail of Harry Dios for what is seventh place, so those two I'm sure will continue to battle as the race wears on. But Leo Bell, he's going to have to keep an eye on that rearview mirror, with Adam Lyle getting closer and closer. Jordan Taylor, as I said, he was getting closer, has already worked his way through and past Harry Dios and put a tiny bit of breathing room between himself and the car behind. 3, 4, maybe even 5 tenths now. So Harry Dios maybe with a small mistake there. That's cost him a lot of time indeed. But on to lap number 6. Kyle Felbus's lead is looking rather handsome indeed, almost up to 4 seconds already. And with James Pepper, he is under pressure from Nathan Williams. There goes the move for Adam Lyle. A big look up the inside. He does get the car slowed down, but I think compromised his exit very slightly. He's desperately trying to work his way through, filling the mirrors of Leo Bell, but can't quite force the mistake as of yet. Currently sat in a very handsome 5th place. A big old moment from Leo Bell, though. That's exactly the mistake he didn't want. So everything swings back the way of Adam Lyle. He will have the superior momentum. He will have the inside by the time we arrive at Tower. Jump on the brakes, down a gear. Adam Lyle back up into 4th place for the moment and just edges his way in front. So Adam, a brilliant move, capitalised on the mistake from the car in front and back up into 4th place. Leo Bell will be back on the attack, trying to get that position back for him. Nathan Williams, he was attacking James Pepper, but a small mistake, I fear, has dropped him away. Leo Bell's trying to brave it out around the outside of the final corner. Maybe not this time. Jumps on the brakes early, pitches the car in. But if anything, that cost him a bit of time. And Adam Lyle's got enough space between himself and Leo Bell to think about a defence. But I don't think he'll have to deploy that on this lap. James Pepper still, 3.8 seconds away from Kyle Felbus. Fastest lap of the race at the moment is still going the way of James Pepper with the 1:11.845. So still a very quick lap. He knows the pace is there, and that lead gap may start to tumble over the next, 12 minutes. Leo Bell in 5th place, having lost that place on the lap prior. He wants to get back up to 4th, but he just doesn't quite have enough behind the wheel of his MX-5 Cup car. He's dropping away now to the tune of 6-7 tenths already. Maybe a small mistake at the start of this lap didn't help that. Kieran Roberts sat there in 5th place. He's still doing Kieran Roberts sat there in 6th place. Harley Connolly, it's all gone wrong through the S's. I think he may have made contact with one of the tyre bales, and that threw the car towards the infield. He finally manages to find a bit of tarmac again and gets back going right the way down in 13th place. There is Thomas Potter. He's trying to catch up to Ash Hill, but he's got Luke Sintler bearing down on him and getting closer. Sam Chilton rounds out your top 10 as we run. Jordan Taylor still in 11th place and trying to recover. However, Thomas Potter, whether that was him letting him through, don't know whether Tom let Luke through or had a small mistake. Look at the tail end of that car, really not settled, struggling to keep the rear end in check. is Thomas Potter. He drops down to 9th place. Luke Sintler up into 8th. Last time over the line, we saw another fastest lap of the race. This time it was initially set by Adam Lyle with a 1 minute 11.776. I thought somebody had betted it already, but no, not this time. Adam Lyle, he might better it himself. Overall fastest through Sector 1. We may see Adam close that gap ever further on Nathan Williams. You can see they are slowly edging closer. James Pepper has pulled half a second closer to Kyle Felvers with 10.5 minutes of the race remaining. We could see 4 cars all fighting over those final podium spots. Adam through the chicane, nice and easy in between the tyre bales. It really does work for him that time. Continuing to lap quicker and quicker. Leo Bell setting a personal fastest Sector 1 and 2. Carl Felvers a personal fastest Sector 2. Over the line he went into the very low 112s with a personal fastest lap. However, immediately bettered and another fastest lap of the race by Adam Lyle at 1 minute 11.479. Thomas Potter, his race has all unfolded and drops down from what, 8th place, or 9th place, pardon me, down to 11th. So Sam Chilton up into 9th, Jordan Taylor back into the top 10 now. Thomas Potter, if he's not careful, Harry Dios isn't too far away, you could see him approaching. But Adam Lyle, he's almost within that crucial second margin of Nathan Williams. That's when he'll get the aerodynamic assistance and go quicker still. But an incredibly fast lap last time over the line for Adam Lyle. 4 tenths quicker than anybody has gone this race. There is Luke Sintler in 8th place. He is slowly catching up to Ash Hill. Last time over the line, Ash Hill with a 1 minute 13.385. Luke Sintler with a 1 minute 12.4. Of course, Luke was caught up in that first lap calamity. And it's been a very good recovery drive from him so far, up into 8th place, looking to make that 7th. There is Adam. There is Nathan Williams. He's within that second margin now. Only 3/4 of a second separate them. If he can nail the final corner, we could see an opportunity almost as soon as turn 3 in towards Quarry. Over the start-finish line now go 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Kyle Felvers over the line, again bettering his personal fastest lap with a 1 minute 11.987, but still not enough, still not pulling away from Adam Lyle. Adam Lyle is gaining on Nathan Williams, James Pepper and Kyle Felvers all as one. In towards Quarry, you can see the differing lines. Nathan Williams maybe slightly earlier on the way in. Adam Lyle hangs the car out just for slightly longer, looks for the later apex, and it seems to work because he's drawn him in by another 1/10 of a second. Luke Sintler has indeed worked his way through and past Ash Hill, or has he? Because Ash Hill has fought back immediately in towards Quarry and back up the inside, has gone for the cutback, and it's really worked for him. Back up into 7th place for now, but Luke Sintler, pardon me, has been quicker so far, so we could see that position change once again. The body language of Ash's car is looking rather uncomfortable. He's really having to almost throw the car around on the very edge of adhesion. In towards Tower, now we see Luke Sintler up the inside. There is Adam Lyle. Where is Nathan Williams? There he is, back rejoining on the exit of Bobby's. Hopefully there wasn't contact. Nathan Williams has not only lost out to Adam Lyle, he's also lost out to Leo Bell. Luke Sintler has got back in front of Ash Hill. We saw the move almost setting up with Ash Hill on the outside in towards Tower. It worked for him initially, but Luke Sintler later on the brakes up the inside, up into 7th place. There's a bit of chopping and changing further down the order. I think Harry Dios has dropped down ever further and now down into 14th place. But Luke Sintler, having got in front of Ash Hill, is now going to focus and try and maybe pick the pocket of Kieran Roberts, because he can see the car up the road, and that's so crucial as well. Just having that visual aid and the marker to aim for, especially if you are Luke Sintler and you can see Kieran Roberts up the road. Further down the order, we've got Harry Dios and Harley Connolly swapping around. Harry Dios has got up into 13th place, Harley Connolly down into 14th. And just to make Ash Hill's performance so far that more impressive, he only signed up today and only started practicing from 6 PM, so he's had a busy night on the sim as Ash Hill, and to currently be sat in 8th place amongst the drivers he's been battling against, that's a very good debut night from him so far. Leo Bell and Nathan Williams have swapped around once again, so Nathan Williams obviously recovering from the earlier mistake, or maybe an incident. I guess all will be revealed if we get an opportunity to chat to Nathan later on this evening. But Nathan back up into 4th, Leo down to 5th. What of Adam Lyle's progress? He's 1.1 seconds away from James Pepper. It's not impossible, but so far we saw brilliant pace in qualifying, and we're seeing a brilliant race performance as well, not just quick over one singular lap, so it seems, for Adam Lyle. Leo Bell immediately fighting back on Nathan Williams, but Nathan goes defensive and manages to hold on to 4th place in towards Tower Bend. Now in towards the S's, again just narrowly avoiding those tyre bales. I think Leo Bell maybe just scrapes one there over the white line, and all over the grass goes Nathan Williams. He's got to be so careful of those track limits, because they can really start to build up over a race. You might not notice it whilst you're doing it, especially if you are in a battle, but the timing will definitely pick it up as a breach of track limits, and that's when warnings, and hopefully not, but we may see penalties being dished out. Again, through the chicane, you can see just how close Nathan Williams is to those tyre bales. Adam Lyle, maybe with a small mistake on the lap prior, because he's now dropped down to what, 1.7 seconds away. We saw it as close as what, 1.1. Let's have a look over the line. A 1 minute 12.548 from him compared to James Pepper's 1 minute 12.2. Carl Felbus over the line with a 1 minute 12.811, so he's lapping slower than the rest of the top 3. Now we see Leo Bell back on the attack, absolutely side by side, door to door, as we go over Avon Rise. Now in towards Tower, very aggressive on the way in from Nathan Williams, finds the grip as the tyre scarpers over the racing surface, but holding on to 4th place once again. Leo Bell having to remain in 5th. He is running out of time for the moment. So 4.5 minutes of the race to go. Looking at where Kyle Felbus is, he's just working his way through bobbies now. We may see Kyle Felbus gets, what, another 2-3 laps out of this one still. I'm guessing it will be 3. Don't think we'll quite have enough for 4. Maybe we will. Leo Bell, again, just trying to edge his way up through the inside. Doesn't work for Nathan Williams. Adam Lyle, he was within a second, and he's just about on the cusp of that. A 1 minute 11.651. What a brilliant response to a poor lap last time over the line. So Adam Lyle definitely drawing himself closer. He will be within the aerodynamic assistance of James Pepper, so that gap should, in theory, start to come down ever more over the coming laps. Leo Bell still not too far away from Nathan Williams. He's not quite close enough on this lap. We've seen him take a few looks to the inside over the previous couple of laps, but it doesn't work for him this time through. 3.5 minutes of the race remaining. Kyle Felbus' lead remains at 4 seconds. Adam Lyle, he's almost sort of maintaining that second margin. I think he's just about broken that barrier now. He's got within the bubble and should just about stay there. What a brilliant debut race for Adam Lyle with Perfect Acceleration Sim Racing. Currently sat there in P3 and getting closer to James Pepper in second. Through the final sector we go, and overall fastest sector 2 from Adam Lyle. That aerodynamic assistance really working for him. Of course, he will start to gel more with the car and the circuit as the evening wears on. Over the line, will we see an overall fastest lap of the race? No, not this time, but not too far away. Still that 1 minute 11.479 he set earlier being the fastest. However, Adam Lyle on the lap prior with a 1 minute 11.633, so still not far away at all. What did Carl Felbus do last time through? He managed a 72.97. So slightly slower than the cars behind. Here is Leo Bell back on the attack, but Nathan Williams so good at defending that position in towards turn 1. We may see some slightly different tactics. Adam Lyle, he says he's got in front of James Pepper, and James was very slow through shot there. I think he may have had a bit of a moment as we flicked our way through the quick right-hander at Old Paddock Bend, and up into second place goes Adam Lyle. James Pepper down into third, and with 2 minutes left of this race to go, that's still enough time for 2 laps. We could still see a response. Leo Bell still within fighting distance of Nathan Williams. Harley Connolly and Harry Dias have swapped around once more. One of Kyle Felbus, his lead with the battling that's been going on behind, is now up to 4.8 seconds. Harry Dias and Harley Connolly continue to trade places. And may we see a response from James Pepper this time? Yes, we do. Adam Lyle goes defensive, absolutely side by side as we work our way in towards Avon Rise. Who's later on the brakes? It is James Pepper. We know he can go around the outside. He tries it again, and all the way around the outside once again from James Pepper and Cool Camel Racing in that number 28 machine, back up into second place. And what a stylish way to do it. Adam Lyle has now got to respond. He's got a lap and a half still to get onto the second step of the podium, but a big old moment through the S's. That car has spun through 90 degrees at least. I think that's the same fate that befell Nathan Williams just a few laps ago. All of that hard work, unfortunately, undone for Adam Lyle. Now he needs to keep that car on the road and just bring it home to the flag. There is Kyle Felbus, 4.8 seconds to the good in the lead of this race. He nailed the start, got into the lead early, and left everything behind him from there. So our number one machine through the final corner, heading on to his final lap of the race. Here is Nathan Snaith and Thomas Potter, absolutely nose to tail through turn one. Of course, they've still got another lap and a half to do because Kyle Felbus, he won't be lapping them this time through. Nathan Snaith just about keeping it within the white lines. Bouncing over the grass goes Thomas Potter in the background. So nose to tail, but I fear Nathan Snaith has just done enough to bridge that gap nice and early and almost start to pull away, I think, in 11th place. Adam Lyle, we've seen what he can do in race one. In terms of race two, still to come, we've got that full reverse grid still to be applied. We could see Adam carve his way through the order. Again, another opportunity we get to see a couple of new drivers and how they respond to the reverse grid. There is Kyle Felbus. Look at how balanced that car looks. It was on the edge on the way in, but not really too far. It didn't look like it was doing anything it didn't want to do. Through bobbies he goes, and then towards the final corner for the final time in race number one here at Castle Combe. A brilliant start for the number one HFT racing machine that put him in a great position, got to the lead and held it all through race one. Kyle Felbus crosses the line to take the win here at Castle Combe in race number one. It will be James Pepper that arrives in second place. A hard-fought second place because he did have to worry about that man there, Adam Lyle. What a debut race from him on the podium, and gets himself £5 cash to celebrate as well. Nathan Williams crosses the line in fourth place, closely followed by Leo Bell. He didn't have too much time to really think about a defence. Kieran Roberts crosses the line in sixth place. The next car to take the flag will be Ash Hill, followed by Luke Sindler, who has been getting closer on that recovery drive. One more lap he may have done it, but Ash Hill, again, another debutant for Perfect Acceleration Sim Racing, finishing a fabulous 7th place. Luke Sindler finishes in 8th. Jordan Taylor just crossing the line there to finish in 9th place. Sam Chilton over the line now to round out your top 10. Had a fairly busy start to the race, but managed to get the car towards the checkered flag. Nathan Snaith still to take the checkered flag through the final corner. He will come closely followed by Thomas Potter, 9 seconds down the road. And then we will see Harry Dios and Harley Connolly finish in 13th and 14th place, but Thomas Potter over the line there in 12th, followed then by Harry Dios and Harley Connolly, who were trading places towards the latter stages of the race. But what a way to open up the action here at Castle Combe. Joining us in the commentary box, we have our top three. Adam Lyle, we'll start with you. Your debut night with Perfect Acceleration Sim Racing. What a brilliant showcase of pace. You've not just picked up third place points. In theory, you've picked up second place points with the fastest lap of the race. We know what you can do now. There's no more hiding it. Surely the confidence level is going to be pretty high going into race two.
Yeah, I was a little bit nervous, but thanks to Kyle, who I drafted, obviously, to get high up on the grid to start with. Which,
yeah, I mean, it really did work for you. We saw some brilliant battling between yourself and James Pepper. And obviously everybody else knows just how quick you are now, so there may be some slightly more stern defending, and I'm sure James will be trying to return the favour and attack back in race two. But race two, it's a completely different beast. Of course, you've got a full reverse grid. How's the confidence levels going into this one in terms of carving your way through the traffic, or are you just going to sort of sit, let what happens happen, and then focus on picking them off one by one?
I'm terrible in traffic, so hopefully people run off and I can just sneak through.
Well, I guess
that's the plan.
I guess all will be revealed. But massive congratulations on a podium in debut for Perfect Acceleration Sim Racing, and best of luck for race two.
Oh, thank you.
Cheers, Adam. James, the start didn't really go your way. Of course, pole position, I'm not quite sure what happened, whether it was a slight bog, maybe a missed gear, whatever it was. You were then more or less on the back foot once again, having to carve your way through the order. I think you narrowly avoided the incident behind. We saw you down in, fifth, maybe sixth place, but a brilliant comeback drive, a bit of defending as well from Adam towards the end. Back up to second place, good points, another podium on the board. Surely that's got to help towards that championship aspiration.
Yeah, definitely. As you say, it was a bit of an awful start. I can't seem to get the car off the line, to be fair. So that's something I've got to obviously work on. The first corner, the first couple of corners didn't go my way, but I managed to calm my way through, and some good driving by Adam.
And of course, the sort of nature of the round structure means that the better you do in race 1, the further back you start in race 2. So starting quite a long way back. Of course, you've done it before. Started almost on the back row. Of course, this being your first, second place of the season, you're very much on the back row now. You've got Kyle Felvis alongside you. What's the plan? Are you going to try and work with Kyle initially, carve your way through traffic as one, and then start to battle towards the end, or are you just going to take it as it comes?
Yeah, I'll definitely follow Kyle, because as we've seen from previous races, he's mega from the back. So just try follow him as best as I can, keep out of any carnage that happens, and just kind of do the race as it goes, really.
Great stuff. We'll look forward to seeing how that all plays off, and hopefully we can have another chat to you at the end of race 2.
Cheers.
Cheers, James. Kyle, I mean, you must be bored of talking to me now, because it seems like every single round that we get the opportunity to talk to, and so far we have spoken at every single round, following it up with another win. So that makes it 4 wins so far in the PASR MX-5 Cup. You're doing something right.
Yeah, definitely. I think at this point I'm going to try and get a win every week and have one for every 6 weeks we've done it. So yeah, that race was good. Got my car where I wanted to be off the line, and from there sort of, just drove my own race, put in those quali laps and finished first.
And of course, Castle Combe, a fairly flat circuit, but not necessarily the most forgiving, because track limits can really start to hurt you. But of course, you've got the tyre bales, not only through the first chicane, but the second chicane as well, that may cause some bother. How are you finding it?
Yeah, it's good. I really like Castle Combe. I mean, it's quite a local track to me. I'm hoping to go to college near here, so it's definitely a fun circuit. But I think race 2 is going to be where people struggle, especially with the tyre bales. I know it's very hard to see them when you're directly behind someone. That's something I was struggling with in quali. So just sort of leaving that gap, making sure you can see them going into the corner, and then should be okay.
All will be revealed, and by the sounds of it, many a lunch break will be spent at Castle Combe. But yeah, if you're willing to put up with me again, hopefully we get another chat at the end of race 2.
Hopefully so. Thank you.
Cheers, Kyle. So again, great to have a chat with our first podium of the evening. Adam Lyle, definitely the standout for race 1, but of course Ash Hill, we saw him in some brilliant battles as well. Kyle from the front managed that gap very consistently throughout the race. Olivia Kronoska lines up on reverse grid pole position with Harley Connolly alongside. Harry Dios as Thomas Potter for company on row 2. Row 3 made up of Nathan Snaith and Sam Chilton. Jordan Taylor lines up in 7th, Luke Sintler lining up in 8th. Row number 5 is made up of Ash Hill and Kieran Roberts. Row 6 is Leo Bell and Nathan Williams. Then we get back to Adam Lyle and James Pepper, and all on his own on the back row of the grid we've got Kyle Felvis. The race will get underway in around about a minute's time. Of course, we'll take a quick moment to thank the sponsor, of course, 2F Media Productions, and Tom O'Farrell doing a brilliant job as ever, bringing you some of the fabulous pictures that we can see on screen at the moment. Of course, 3M Raceware, Pro Simrig, and Mongrip Monte Carlo for supporting the PASR MX-5 Cup. We simply wouldn't be able to do it without them. Perfect Acceleration Sim Racing themselves. If you're interested in getting yourself out on circuit, of course, we've got the opportunities with the leagues. If you're looking for a rig, why go anywhere else? If you're already in a league with us and you're wanting to upgrade, PASR do some fabulous sim racing rigs, and it's well worth a chat. Learn a little bit more about them, maybe get a video or a picture or two, and that might cement your decision in terms of which sim rig to go for. But we have another race on the way. The lights are being readied. Olivia Kronoska on pole position, Harley Connolly alongside. So the first light will go on in a couple of seconds' time. There it is. And we wait for the 6 lights. They go on. And when they go out, we'll be racing once again. Here we go. Race number 2 underway here at Castle Combe. Olivia Kronoska gets a good start from pole position. However, immediately Harley Connolly responds and takes the lead of the race away. Bouncing over the grass is Olivia, trying to make good her escape. We're 2, 3, 4 wide, and we've got cars heading towards the inside of the circuit. Thomas Potter being one of them. I think a couple of other cars getting caught up in that. Olivia Kronoska trying to fight back. Harley Connolly just about manages to pick the lead off, and he's going to try and run away. Spinning through the pack is Sam Chilton. He gets collected by Thomas Potter. We've got another car off, Leo Bell, Kyle Felvis, Jordan Taylor, and it don't think James Pepper got through. No, he didn't. But then, of course, we've got the first cars recovering, working their way through that little pack as well. So at the end of this lap, we might be able to bring a confirmed order to you. Kyle Felbus immediately back, trying to fight his way through the order. James Pepper's got a lot of recovery driving to do for the final 19 minutes of this race. Nathan Snaith, he's looking to the inside of Olivia Kronoska up into third place. He goes. A bit of contact on the apex. There is Nathan Williams. He's on the inside of Ash Hill. A bit of a wobble on the exit, but has just about cemented that place in towards the chicane. We are managing to go too wide through there. Olivia Kronoska elbows Nathan Williams towards the outside of the circuit. Already off is Nathan Snaith, having just inherited third place. He's now right the way back down into seventh place. Harley Connolly is trying to run away at the front end of affairs, but he's being chased by Kieran Roberts. There is Harry Dios in third place, Ash Hill in fourth, Olivia Kronoska still fighting away with Nathan Williams fifth and sixth, Nathan Snaith down in seventh after that small mistake, Sam Chilton over the line in eighth, Kyle Felbus in theory up to ninth, but I fear down to ninth after the outcome of turn one. Sam Chilton is in 10th place, followed then by Luke Sintler, Jordan Taylor, Leo Bell, Thomas Potter and James Pepper. Unfortunately, the start of race 2 hasn't got his way. Back up to this battle, Ash Hill under pressure from Harry Dios. He sat there in 4th place trying to make that third. He will have to be going the long way around, doesn't work through the chicane, a big jump on the brakes, that kills his momentum. Harley Connolly has gone off the road, that puts Kieran Roberts into the lead of the race. So Kieran Roberts now leading the race by, 1.5 seconds. Harley Connolly has got a lot of work to do in second place, not only to close that gap, but also run away from Ash Hill. I think he's preoccupied with Harry Dios at the moment. Behind Harry Dios, we've got Olivia Kronoska and Nathan Williams riding on board with Nathan. Contact on the way into the corner, and that pushes Nathan wide. A big flick of oversteer. He doesn't only lose out to Olivia Kronoska, he loses out to Kyle Felbus, Nathan Snaith, Luke Sintler, Sam Chilton and Adam Lyle. And Nathan, again, it's gone from bad to worse. Jordan Taylor goes through. Leo Bell goes through. A big old moment in the background. That's for Sam Chilton. He somehow gets the car pointed the right direction again. I think the big winner out of that was Jordan Taylor. He finishes that little section of the circuit in 9th, having approached it in, I think, what was 12th. Olivia Kronoska holding on to 7th for now. Nathan Snaith looking up the inside, side by side, as we head towards Avon Rise. Absolutely door to door. It will be Olivia Kronoska on the outside, Nathan Snaith on the inside. However, he jumps on the brakes slightly earlier and doesn't go for that move quite as early as I was expecting. Jordan Taylor in 9th. He is starting to close up on the pack ahead. He's still being chased by Leo Bell. Adam Lyle, after a brilliant race 1, he's up into 11th, and we may see an improvement from him. Nathan Snaith pushing Olivia Kronoska through the very quick right-hand kink. Of course, James Pepper, he is starting to close the gap to the cars up the road. Jordan Taylor again letting us all know he knows where the flash button is on his steering wheel, but it does work. It does take a driver's eye maybe off their braking point, their turn-in point, their acceleration point, whatever it may be. It means that Nathan Snaith was slightly distracted there, because look how it's worked for Jordan Taylor. He's in 9th, trying to make it 8th. It will be the outside shown to Jordan Taylor. They will arrive at turn 1 absolutely together, but no position made for Jordan Taylor. Nathan Snaith's car looking very slow in a straight line. I don't know whether that's a bit of damage already. Again, more flashing there from Jordan Taylor, but Nathan Snaith, he seems slightly slower towards the end of the straights, whatever that may be. I'm guessing it's a bit of damage. He's going to get swamped here. Leo Bell on the inside. It'll be Adam Lyle on the outside. And Nathan will be the meat in the sandwich. Adam Lyle, so aggressive, manages to throw the car around the outside, finds the grip all the way through Quarry and up into 9th place. Brilliant move from Adam Lyle, already showing what he can do behind the wheel of one of these MX-5 Cup cars. Through the S's he goes, massively closes up onto the tail end of Jordan Taylor. Olivia Kronoska still doing a sterling job defending from Jordan Taylor. Adam Lyle, he more or less arrives on the scene and already starts to disturb what is going on. He looked to the inside, but Olivia jumps over to the inside to try and defend. Jordan Taylor all the way around the outside, manages the oversteer. Adam Lyle tries to make it work as well. He's got to go the long way around through Bobby's and does so, finds the grip, avoids a tyre bail. Up into 8th place now is Adam Lyle. Olivia also gets picked off, unfortunately, by Leo Bell. So only falling down the order, unfortunately, is Olivia. Kieran Roberts back to the front. He is still leading from Harley Connolly and Ash Hill. Then it's Harry Dios. Kyle Felbus up into 5th place. The last time we saw him is 9th, so he's making his intentions known and carving his way through the order. Luke Sintler in 6th. Jordan Taylor up the road in 7th. Looking at Adam Lyle now, you can see Leo Bell in 9th. He's getting closer and closer and closer. Adam's really good on the brakes in towards turn 3. but is Leo better? I guess all will be revealed on the brakes. Leo gives it a go all the way around the outside. Initially, it looked like it was going to work. Adam Lyle runs slightly deep. Leo Bell edges his way up the inside and up into 8th place. Adam back down to 9th. Olivia Kronoska's got the best seats in the house for what's to come. Sam Chilton in 11th place. He's closing up on Olivia as well. Back up to the front, Kyle Felvers desperately trying to carve his way ever further up through the order. Harry Dios pushing him towards the grass. But Kyle is up the inside, just about racing room left. A bit of door-to-door contact between the pair of them. But Kyle Felvers up into 4th place through the chicane at Bobby's. Goes the pair of them. Harley Connolly from 2nd place. He has to straight line the chicane, goes slightly deep on the brakes. Ash Hill up into 2nd place. Kyle Felvers up into 3rd. Harley Connolly from 2nd down to 4th, maybe even 5th now, because Harry Dias is looking up the inside through the final corner. They're absolutely side by side. A bit of contact between the pair of them. Harry Dias up into 4th. Harley Connolly in 5th, so to speak. I think they're sharing 4th and 5th at the moment, bouncing off each other. Kyle Felvers trying to make good his escape. Trying to make 3rd, 4th as well, or trying to make 3rd into 2nd now. He's got to go the long way around at turn 3, all the way around the outside, struggling to find the grip, the front end hanging on for dear life, and position made on the times. However, is there an overlap? No, not this time. So Kyle Felvers up into 2nd place, Ash Hill down into 3rd. Harley Connolly still fighting away with Harry Dios through the S's. Leo Bell has managed to pick the pocket of Adam Lyle once again. So these two, I fear, will be fighting to the end. Olivia Kronoska defending hard from Sam Chilton. Placed the car in the middle of the road. Sam Chilton didn't have much by way of a response. However, he throws the car to the outside. He might just be able to find the grip in the real estate that he needs to go around the outside. Sam Chilton on the timing is in front of Olivia Kronoska. It'll be the outside once again for Tower, but I fear the position will already be made. Yes, it is. In the background, if they continue to battle, Luke Sintler, he's waiting in the wings in 11th, so to speak, or is that 10th now, in towards Bobby's, jumps on the brakes, can't quite edge the door open this time. He gives it a go all the way around the outside, finds the grip, finds the track, and up into 10th place goes Luke Sintler. Olivia Kronoska down into 11th, but she's got a pack of cars behind her. Through goes Nathan Williams. Through potentially goes Nathan Snaith, will be the outside. We've also got James Pepper still trying to recover. He goes to the outside of Olivia Kronoska. What happened to Nathan Snaith? I don't know whether that was a flick of oversteer, a slight network issue, but into the barrier through the final corner goes Nathan Snaith. Ash Hill still sat there in 3rd place. He's having to defend from Harley Connolly this time. In towards the S's they go. Harley, a big move up the inside, showing his intention as well. So aggressive, that move to the inside, but it didn't scare Ash Hill in the number 60 Racing 60 machine. So absolutely side by side once again. What a performance it's been so far from Ash Hill. He's got more performance, I fear, behind the wheel of that car. However, Harley Connolly, he's making the most of the performance he's got. Dives up the inside through Tower. They will arrive at Bobby's absolutely together. They continue to battle. Harry Dios is just sat behind. Harley Connolly does secure 3rd place. Ash Hill down into 4th. But of course, he's now picking up the aerodynamic assistance. Harry Dios with a flash of the lights. Jordan Taylor with a flash of the lights. So 5th and 6th are hunting down 3rd and 4th at the moment. However, 3rd and 4th still not done with their fight, because Ash Hill all the way around the outside, he manages to find the grip through there. Harry Dios the big winner out of that, because he gets the aerodynamic assistance off them both. Looks to the inside, a flash of the lights, somehow carves his way through the middle. It didn't need to happen. And Ash Hill is off the road. Was Harley Connolly? No, he wasn't, but Ash Hill very much the victim in that one. The innocent party didn't have to make the room, but Harry Dios carves his way through and picks up 3rd place. Jordan Taylor with a flash of the lights, trying to further distract Harry from his newly positioned 3rd place. Harley Connolly will be back on the attack. He was sort of 50-50 in that one. He was half caught in it, half not, and he's trying to get that 3rd place back off Harry Dios. Jordan Taylor still flashing the lights, not giving them any sort of respite at all. In 5th, he is looking to work his way on to the final step of the podium as well. We're not even halfway into this race. We're just shy of, and Harley Connolly, a late dive to the inside of Harry Dios. The gap was never going to open, and that meant that he flew into the tyre wall and then flew into the front of Jordan Taylor. Luke Sintler with a big old moment through Tower Bend. That will cost him time in 11th place. So James Pepper up into 10th. Nathan Williams in 9th at the moment. Ash Hill temporarily down into 8th place. And Adam Lyle, he was on the inside of Jordan Taylor, and Jordan just sort of kept coming there. I don't know whether Jordan had lost the rear end of the car and didn't really have too much of a choice, but he just kept coming to the inside. And I don't think that Adam Lyle had too much room to respond. Kieran Roberts, what a performance it has been from him so far. He's got to the front, built the margin up to 4.5 seconds, which I think he may need, because the man in second place, Kyle Felvis, he will be bearing down on him and lapping quicker so far. Last time over the line, Kieran Roberts posted a 1 minute 12.756. Last time over the line for Kyle Felvis, a 1 minute 11.905. So, what, 8 tenths quicker over the line was Kyle. So that gap will be coming down substantially as the race wears on. James Pepper, having got into 9th place, he's trying to make that eighth by working his way through and past Nathan Williams in towards Tower. Nathan Williams so deep on the brakes, chucks the car in, finds the grip somehow. But James Pepper, he is making his presence known and really piling on that pressure to Nathan Williams now. Through bobbies they go as one, absolutely nose to tail. They will arrive at the final corner in, I think, a similar fashion. But no, James Pepper looks to the outside. Not necessarily the most conventional overtaking opportunity, but he gives it a go around the outside, then looks to the inside, and it works for him this time. He gets the overlap. And I think the superior momentum on the exit of the corner. Adam Lyle has managed to work his way through and past Harry Dios. They're still side by side. But James Pepper now on the inside in towards turn number 1. Nathan Williams on the outside. James Pepper up into 8th place. Nathan Williams down into 9th. There is Adam Lyle. He's got Leo Bell just sat behind. He's got Harry Dios just up the road. And you can see that Adam is desperate to get onto that podium. He's already shown he can do it once. Can he do it again? He just needs that little bit more, I think. Maybe a small mistake from Harry Dios or a bump up in pace. Harley Connolly, he's lost out to James Pepper also. So James Pepper recovered up to 7th so far. Of course, he started on the penultimate row of the grid, was caught up quite substantially in that first lap incident, but it was enough. And Harley Connolly caught up in another accident with Nathan Williams. What happened there, I don't know, but both of them almost going straight on in towards the second chicane at Bobby's. So they will lose places to Luke Sintler. Adam Lyle and Harry Dios still side by side. Adam Lyle on the timing up into 3rd place. This time he's got the inside for turn 3. Leo Bell trying to follow him through the same gap. On the brakes in towards turn 3, absolutely together. Adam Lyle, does he wash slightly wide this time? No, manages the scrub of the front axle slightly better. Harry Dios immediately back on the attack and on the flash button to show Adam Lyle he wants back in towards that podium. And Leo Bell, he makes good his escape, so to speak. I think Harry Dios, I don't know whether it was a small mistake through the chicane, slightly slower, but it's like he came over to defend to Leo Bell, or defend from Leo Bell, and Leo was already in the gap that Harry was going for. So I think a mistake of Harry's making there has dropped him not only out of the top 5, but almost out of the top 10, right the way down into 8th place there for Harry Dios. Leo Bell does hold on to 4th place. James Pepper now up into 5th. Ash Hill 6th. Luke Sintler 7th. Harry Dios now down into 8th. Then it's Nathan Williams and Harley Connolly. Looking back from Harley Connolly, we do have Sam Chilton, who's under ever-increasing pressure from Jordan Taylor. I don't know whether there was contact between the pair of them, but it was very close indeed. Harley Connolly, another mistake. He has to cut his way through and past the marshal post. That puts Sam Chilton into the top 10. Jordan Taylor up into 11th. Olivia Kronoska up into 12th. Riding on board now with Jordan Taylor looking forward. You'll see he will have that momentum. He'll have the aerodynamic assistance. Comes over to the inside for turn 2 and 3. And Jordan Taylor up into 10th place. Sam Chilton down into 9th for the moment. Desperate to get back over and get the aerodynamic assistance. He's got to defend from Olivia Kronoska, who sends it up the inside. Contact between the pair of them. That's what Jordan Taylor will have wanted for HFT Racing. Up into 10th and has built a gap already. Harley Connolly manages to pick his way through and past Olivia Kronoska after a big lunge up the inside. So Harley back up into 12th place. It's all fallen apart really for Harley throughout this race. Sam Chilton holds on to 11th for the moment. The lead gap last time we looked was 4.5 seconds. Now it's 1.2 seconds. So over the line there goes Kyle Felvis. He is getting closer. Over the line he was, 6 tenths quicker than Kieran Roberts in the lead of the race. Olivia Kronoska having to defend from Thomas Potter, who looks to the inside. They're still side by side by the time they arrive at Bobby's. And Olivia Kronoska remains in front, remains in 13th place for the moment. Thomas Potter draws himself alongside. I've got to say, Olivia, she's doing a brilliant job so far this evening in defending. In In towards the final corner they go. Thomas Potter looks for the cutback and looking for that momentum that he wants, arriving at turn 1. There was a bit of nose-to-tail contact there. I don't think Thomas Potter wanted to do it. He just couldn't quite respond in time. Ash Hill, he's now looking to the outside of Luke Sintler. Through the chicane they go, but Luke Sintler up into 6th place. Ash Hill down into 7th. Last time over the line, Ash Hill's time of 1 minute 14.887, so I fear a mistake from Ash Hill last time. Luke Sintler over the line with a 1:12.717. Fastest car on circuit we've got at the moment, Adam Lyle, a 1 minute 11.988. He's currently sat in 3rd place, 14 seconds away from Kyle Felvers. There is Olivia Kronoska continuing to defend from Thomas Potter. They've got Harley Connolly just up the road. Is that Harley Connolly? Yes, it is. In towards Tower they go, and Thomas Potter all the way around the outside finds the grip and finally manages to work his way through and past Olivia Kronoska and up into 13th place. So through the Bobby chicane there you go. Nathan Williams, he's on the inside. Harry Dios on the outside. That's the battle for 8th place at the moment. Kyle Felvers now within a 1/4 of a second of Kieran Roberts. Where's he going to go for the move? Is he going to wait for the start-finish line? Is he going to have a look here in towards Tower? No, let's Kieran Roberts break later. Kyle Felvers slightly more comfortable on the way through, just placing the car where he needs to. He's not exactly going for the move, he's just compromising Kieran Roberts. And that will get in his head and really get him on his mirrors. A flash of the lights will help as well. Kyle Felvers proving that it works through the final corner now. Earlier on the brakes for Kieran Roberts. Kyle tries to open the door on the outside. The space closes. Kieran Roberts comes over to defend. Racing room given. Just about a car's width. Kyle Felvers has to take to the grass with the right-hand side of his car. So they're still absolutely side by side. Over Avon Rise they will go in towards Quarry. Kieran Roberts, can he hold on to the lead? Yes, he can. Comes over to defend. Maybe in the braking zone. Kyle Felvers gets a good run out of turn number 3. Immediately over to defend once again is Kieran Roberts. In towards the S's they will go. And much quicker on the way in for Kieran Roberts, but all over the grass. Couldn't get the car squared away for the exit. That then throws it the way of Kyle Felvers and just edging the car over on Kyle slightly there. Kyle having to jump on the brakes to avoid the accident. Over to defend once again. Over to the inside is Kieran Roberts. Kyle Felvers now decides it's time to make the move. Puts the car on the outside. Finds the grip. Kieran Roberts gives him enough room on the exit. In towards the S. He's absolutely side by side. Kyle Felvers drops in behind our race leader once again. We've got 2 laps of the race remaining. So he's running out of time, is Kyle. He's got to make this move and try and break the defence that Kieran Roberts is putting up so valiantly at the moment. In towards the final corner. Kyle again, looking for that slightly later apex, looking for the cutback. Now he gets the momentum. Now he gets the aerodynamic assistance. He's got the choice. Does he go to the left? Does he go to the right? He went to the right last time. Is he going to go to the left? Kieran Roberts comes over to defend left, defend right, defend left once again. Sure, that will be slightly frowned upon from Kyle's perspective, but in towards turn 1, he's got the inside this time. But again, moving over into the braking zone is Kieran Roberts, desperate to hold on to this lead. Kyle Felvers trying to work his way around the outside, making every effort to keep this battle for the lead as clean as possible. Brilliant racing from the pair of them. Now in towards the quick right-hand kink. No room for margin through here. If you just kick the tail end of the car out, it will kill the momentum. Kyle Felvers goes left. Kieran Roberts goes right, then left once again. In towards Tower. Kyle all the way around the outside. Does he find the grip that he wants this time? He's got the overlap and a bit more. Edges his way in front. Dips a wheel over the curb and into the grass. But Kieran Roberts holds on to the lead. Onto the final lap of the race now. And Kyle Felvers, he's running out of time. He's dropped away a little bit. Half a second is the margin. He wants to do the double once again. Of course, we saw him do the double at Knock Hill, winning both race 1 and race 2. He got both fastest laps at Croft last time out as well. But onto the final lap of the race goes Kieran Roberts. Kyle Felvers still in hot pursuit. Leo Bell manages to work his way through and past James Pepper. I think James is trying to work his way up into 4th place. What a brilliant drive it's been from him so far. In towards turn 1, Kieran Roberts still in the lead of the race. Kyle Felvers, I think he's brewing up to what could be quite a big move now. On the brakes, into the S's they will go for the final time. And we may see ever more points in the bag for Kyle. James Pepper does indeed work his way through and pass Leo Bell up into 4th place. Nathan Snaith works his way through and past Jordan Taylor, who may have had some sort of an issue. And once again, Kyle Felvis, he looks to the outside, looks to the inside this time, a tactic that we've not seen so far. Kieran Roberts doesn't really leave him the room between his car and the white line. James Pepper, he's lost out to Leo Bell. He's lost out to Luke Sintler. I think Leo Bell and James Pepper have come together because Luke Sintler up into 4th place. But towards the final corner for the final time this evening comes Kieran Roberts. Some spirited defending along the way, but he takes the win here at Castle Combe in race number 2. Kyle Felvis crosses the line on the podium once again in 2nd place. It will be Adam Lyle making it 2 podiums from 2. What a brilliant entry to the PASR MX-5 Cup, finishing 3rd. Luke Sintler, he not only picked off Leo Bell, he also picked off James Pepper, who has had another issue. So Luke Sintler crosses the line in 4th place. Leo Bell crosses in 5th. Then it will be Ash Hill, 7th in race 1, 6th in race 2. Another brilliant debut night from him. Nathan Williams over the line to finish in 7th place. Harry Dios crosses the line in 8th. James Pepper, it was all going his way. He was fighting for 4th, across the line in 9th, but that is just the way the championship will work for and against. Thomas Potter crosses the line to finish in 11th place. We will then see Olivia Kronoska towards the line to finish in what is 12th, and then we await the arrival of Harley Connolly. He comes through the final corner, a quick flash of the lights, and will finish in 13th place. Nathan Snaith, somewhat 8 seconds back, to finish it in 14th. And Jordan Taylor, oh, what could have been, I fear, for him. It was edging up to be what could have been quite a good night for Jordan, but one mistake led to another, and I think accidents breed accidents, and he crosses the line to finish in 15th place. I'm sure he won't be too impressed with that one. But in the commentary box, we have our top 3. We'll start with you again, Adam. What a debut night for yourself and in PASI. That's 2 third places, brilliant points on the board. I tell you what, you're giving some of the championship hopefuls a run for their money.
That was better than I expected anyway. Bit less nervous in that one, which helped a lot.
And surely that's got to be a massive motivator for the final 2 rounds of the season. We've got Alton Park and Brands Hatch GP on the way, so circuits that you can have some very close racing round. Alton, you might be slightly challenged in terms of racing room because of course it is quite a skinny circuit. Brands Hatch slightly wider, but surely the motivation's got to be on an all-time high after a brilliant performance this evening.
Yeah, them other 2 races, I mean, Alton Park I can do next week, but the one after I can't do anyway, unfortunately.
Yeah, Alton Park will be very much a busy one for you if you can showcase the pace there, as you already have done this evening. So a massive congratulations on making your debut with Perfect Acceleration Sim Racing and finishing on the podium both times. So yeah, it's a brilliant achievement for you, and hopefully we see you in a week's time at Alton Park.
All right, thank you. See ya.
Cheers, Adam. Kyle, back in the commentary box once again. It seemed like you threw everything at that and the kitchen sink. There was obviously bits of nibbles of grass. There was some spirited defending from Kieran, but you just didn't quite have enough.
Yeah, I think that's the most enjoyable race I've had of this series. The battles I had, you know, with Kieran. I know Kieran from real life. I work with him sometimes, so to battle him in the sim and then, you know, see him in real life is definitely enjoyable. But I knew Kieran can race. Obviously, he races in real life, so I had that trust in him that we could have a good battle. So I went with that, and what a great battle it was.
But a massive points haul again tonight. You're winning race 1, second in race 2. The idea of the drop score is to try and make it as minimal as possible, but you're making that quite a tricky job. You'll probably have the highest drop score out of anyone this season. Where do you draw the line, really? Because that's you finished second in race 1 at round 1, so there was a podium in round 1. There was 2 podiums at round 2. There was a podium last time out at Croft. It's 2 tonight. You're doing quite well.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, it's just consistency. I know there's a drop round or 2 drop rounds as there is, but consistency is key, and if I keep it up, then the championship will come to me, even with the drop rounds. So that's what I'm aiming for.
Well, yeah, it's been a brilliant performance so far. Of course, a massive congratulations for your performances this evening, and we'll see you next time out at Alton Park.
Cheers, Jack.
Cheers, Kyle. Kieran Roberts, welcome to the commentary box. What a race 2 that was from you. you built the gap nice and early. You got to the front and avoided any sort of little incidents or mistakes at the start. And like I say, built that crucial gap. And I said at the time, the 4.5 second margin will come back and pay dividends. And whilst Kyle did close the gap, you didn't make it easy, and you crossed the line and got the win.
Yeah, I was really pleased with that. I'm absolutely over the moon. Luckily, I managed to get the lead from early on, and build a bit of a gap. And Kyle's a really quick sim racer, so he did amazing to come catch me. He definitely was hot on my tail and keeping me on my toes.
And the championship, is it something you think about? Because I'm just looking at the points now. The consistency of your point scoring has been fabulous throughout the season so far. And of course, it's going to be a fairly substantial points haul from you tonight. You can see you potentially carving your way slightly further up the order. Is it something that really plays on your mind?
Yeah, obviously, I'd love to finish up the front in the points, but I know it's going to be tough. There's like amazing sim racing drivers on here, so I know it's going to be tough. But I do keep that in mind sometimes. Just like it would be really nice to be able to say, oh yeah, I finished quite high up in the points, as well as being consistent with finishing decent in races. So. And
just one final quick one. Alton Park next time out. What are you feeling about that one? Is that a circuit you like, a circuit you don't?
I'm not too keen on Alton, to be honest, but hopefully with a lot of practice I should be able to do quite well, and yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Great stuff. So congratulations for this evening and the win in race number 2, and we'll see you next week at Alton Park.
Cool. Cheers, Jack.
Cheers, Kieran. So another brilliant night of racing in the PASR MX-5 Cup, and well, there's a lot more to come because, of course, we've ticked off Donington Park, Knockhill, Croft, and now Castle Combe. Next week, the 7th of March, back here on the Perfect Acceleration Sim Racing channel. Same time, same place. We will go racing at Alton Park. And then the week after that, we round out the season at Brands Hatch GP. That cannot be applied as a drop round either. You can't use either of the races of the 2 optional drop races. So any points you score there will go towards your championship tally. So expect the championship to be as close as ever at Brands Hatch. If you are looking to get on the grid, of course, we do have more space on the PASR MX-5 Cup grid, or if you want to start afresh and head into an all-new season for Perfect Acceleration Sim Racing, the Clio World Series is for you. We glossed over it earlier on, but of course, we are bouncing around the globe. We've got 2 rounds in the UK, 2 rounds in Italy, before we go over to America, and then over to Belgium for Zolder. That starts on the 11th of April. It's £60 entry fee for all 6 rounds. There's a £300 prize fund. You can get your hands on £5 cash as well for finishing on the podium at any of the races throughout. It's a similar format to this evening, 2 20-minute races after a 15-minute qualifying session. But race 2, the grid is formed of the top 10 finishers from race 1, fully reversed. It's a semi-fixed setup, so you've got a bit of playing around to do with the setup just to make the car comfortable, but it won't give anybody too much of a competitive advantage. And of course, there are bonus points for pole and fastest lap, so that will keep the championship closer than ever. If you are wanting to get involved, head over to perfectacceleration.co.uk. That's perfectacceleration.co.uk, and you can sign up there, as well as keep your ear to the ground with everything else to do with Perfect Acceleration Sim Racing, as well as looking back at everything else we have done. But from myself, Jack Werrell, in the commentary box this evening, who's had quite a busy job, Tom O'Farrell, who's arguably had a busier job because he's got to listen to me and figure out where all the action is as well, from 2F Media Productions. He's done a brilliant job this evening as ever. And of course, our series organiser, Mick Sutton at Perfect Acceleration Sim Racing. Thank you so much if you've been watching along at home. Please do go back and catch any of the other rounds if you've missed them, and make sure you've got Alton Park in your diary for next week. But from us all here at PASR, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.